This is my audience. Okay. Okay. I became interested in Ronald Reagan because one of my friend told me one time that her great-grandfather, who lived in East Berlin, who was not permitted to cross into West Berlin to visit his family. Because of this, he became very depressed, and when I was told this, it was hard for me to even comprehend it because I couldn't imagine my life without the freedom that I have now. This speech by Ronald Reagan really interested me, and he is one of my favorite American presidents. His power and influence was huge, and the wall came down after the speech that Ronald Reagan gave, and Berlin was once again reunited. In the website by the History of Place, the article "Tear Down This Wall" was accessed on May 20th, 2014, and said the following: "To those listening throughout Eastern Europe, a special word. Although I cannot be with you, I address my remarks to you just as surely as to those standing here before me. For I join you, as I join your fellow countrymen in the West, in this unalterable belief, there is only one Berlin." Now I'm going to share a little bit of Ronald Reagan's past with you. Ronald Reagan was the 40th President of the United States. He is one of my favorite presidents. He served from January 20th, 1981 to January 20th, 1989. Ronald Reagan was born on February 6, 1911, and he was born in Illinois. And something I found interesting about Ronald Reagan was he was an actor in his young years, and he starred in over 53 films. He married an actress by the name of Jane Wyman, and then they divorced, and he married another actress by the name of Nancy Davis. They married in 1952, and they were still together even after he passed away. Prior to Reagan's presidency, he served as the 33rd governor of California. As soon as Reagan became governor, he became a conservative favorite for the 1968 Republican presidential nomination, but he lost to Nixon. After he lost to Nixon, Reagan decided to run again in 1980, and he won that presidential nomination. On January 20th, 1981, when he started his term, 69 days just after he took office, he was shot by an assassin, and he quickly recovered and returned to duty. At the end of his administration, the nation was enjoying its longest recorded period of peace without recession or any depression. Reagan died on June 5th of 2004 from a terrible disease of Alzheimer's. Now I'm going to tell you about Ronald Reagan and his speech that he made. One of Ronald Reagan's most famous speech, and the one I'm going to be talking about today, took place in Berlin in 1987. On June 12th of 1987, Ronald Reagan visited Berlin, celebrating the 750th anniversary of Berlin. At the Berlin Wall, President Reagan challenged Gorbachev to tear down the wall that separated East and West Berlin and increase the freedom in Eastern Berlin. This speech by President Ronald Reagan to the people of West Berlin is one of the most remembered speeches ever, and it contains one of Reagan's most memorable lines in his presidency. The communists built the Berlin Wall in August of 1961 to keep Germans from escaping communist East Berlin into democratic West Berlin. The 12-foot concrete wall extended for 100 miles surrounding West Berlin and included electrified fences and guard posts. In the website by National Archives, the article "Tear Down This Wall" was published in 2007 and contained the quote, "General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberation, come here to this gate, Mr. Gorbachev. Open this gate, Mr. Gorbachev. Tear down this wall." And this exact quote was Reagan's most memorable quote. Now, after this speech, Ronald Reagan did a lot to the society, and it impacted the society a lot, especially in Germany. The speech helped free East Germany and East Berlin and united Germany together. After World War II in Germany, in 1945, Germany was split, and that divided the country. West Germany was free and started to industrialize, where East Germany was held in the bondage of communism. When the wall came down, this was the first time Germany had become a united country since 1945. The importance of this speech was that it helped unite East Berlin and West Berlin, and East Germany and West Germany, and because of this, Germany prospered greatly. East Germany finally opened the Berlin Wall on November 9th of 1989, and Reagan was no longer president, but he flew to Berlin anyway, and he actually got a hammer himself and nailed down the wall. History proves that Reagan's speech dismantled the wall. A website by the History Place, as used above, says, "I invite Mr. Gorbachev. Let us work to bring the eastern and western parts of the city closer together so that all the people of all Berlin can enjoy the benefits that come with life in one of the greatest cities of the world." This speech really impacted me, and I hope that you learned a lot from it.